Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our company section and seniors annual display. It is rather odd when you come in on a carpeted floor, isn't it? And you just hear silence straight away and muted. So, mums and dads all stopped talking and made it a little bit awkward there. But never mind. You're very welcome here tonight, and we look forward to sharing the evening with all of you. Company, stand at ease. I'm very pleased to welcome, and I know you can't see them all at the moment, but I'll introduce them maybe again in a wee while. On my right, immediately here, Colin Rennick, Minister from the Cathedral, and I'll have to give it the proper title now, because it's not just the Cathedral anymore, it's Kilmadock and Blair Drummond. And then on my next right, we have Mr. Simon McNeill, who is our Inspecting Officer tonight. And Simon is Captain of the 45th Glasgow Boys Brigade in Shawlands, and I met Simon a long time ago, but a few weeks ago we were at an event and I invited Simon to come along and he was dead keen, and not everybody always is, so welcome Simon, hope you enjoy the evening as well, and we'll hear from you later on. And on my extreme right is Andrew Gardner, the Minister here of St Blane's and Leckropt churches. So I'm going to hand over to Andrew to open the evening.
Well, it's really great to see you all and to welcome you and to see the boys. And I know that Fraser and his officers have been working really hard. And it wasn't that long ago we had the band accompanying us on a Sunday morning. We really appreciated that immensely. But I know tonight that you're looking at the theme of Eric Liddell, or thinking about him. And he was a great athlete and a very committed believer as well. And just want to think a wee bit about sport. I don't know, do any of you play really keen on sport? Yeah? Okay, tell me what you play.
I do running.
Running, so Eric Liddell will be right up your street then. Anyone else right into sport? Yeah? You can tell me. Football, anybody play that? Rugby? No? Anyway, I bet you do. You've just been shy. Anyway, so basically, the Olympics are coming up in Paris, end of July and into August. And of course, there's a vast array of sports that they play in the Olympics. There's not just athletics, but there's football, there's golf, there's table tennis, there's skateboarding, anything you can think of for summer sports. They'll play and compete against in Paris. And the Olympics happens every 4 years. Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics. But it's not a new thing. It goes back as far as 776 BC. That's before you were born. It's before even I was born. A long time ago, and they used to hold it every 4 years. Now, there wasn't a table tennis or cycling or anything like that, but there were athletics. And people would run short races, long races, or they would wrestle, they'd do that kind of thing. Well, Paul, one of the early Christians, very influential in the church, he speaks about his Christian life as running a race. And he says there's a starting point, yeah, you've got to leave the starting point, but there's also a finishing line. There's a finishing point. And he says, I forget what's behind me, forget the mistakes I've made in the past, and I run to the finishing line. I make an effort to get to where I'm heading. And the Boys Brigade, if you remember the motto of the Boys Brigade, is to bring Christ's kingdom amongst boys, isn't it? To the advancement of that. It's about the Christian faith and where we might be spiritually in all of that. And I think at the end of the day, give that some thought and how you might engage with him. You've got all kinds of interesting things ahead of you in your lives. Just have a wee think of where you're at with him and what impact he will have in the race of life that lies ahead of you. So Eric Liddell, running the race, life is a race. Where does faith come into it? So we'll sing the Boys Brigade hymn and then a prayer, and then I'll hand back over to Fraser. And it's up here, the hymn. Have a seat. And so we bow our heads as we pray together. Father in heaven, we give you thanks for all that the Boys Brigade have achieved this past year, the hard work that they've engaged in. Thank you too for the officers and their deep commitment to serving you by working with the boys. Father, tonight is a night of accomplishment, of celebration. And Lord, we ask that you would be with us, be in the very midst of our presence as we're gathered here. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the great and deep history of the Boys Brigade, and remind us of that tonight. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, I did promise Fraser before I hand back, we are looking for some new leaders this year, or for the next session. I know there's a few of you stepping down. So if you're prompted in any way to help out, Fraser's the man to actually speak to get some guidance, because we need some fresh blood in the leadership. I'm right with that, Fraser, haven't I? I'm passing over to you.
More about that later, probably. For now, we're going to ask the boys in a minute, not yet, to fall out, and that'll be squad 10 going first over to the hall. And we have 4 items that we're going to have for you tonight, and I'll just remind the boys that are doing the table tennis, which is all of you that went to practice it last week up at St Blane's, that you will be on first. So can you please listen to what Mr Hopper and Mr Davidson tell you to do when you get out there, and the rest will follow. Company attention. Company fall out. And squad 10, if you can march off first, and followed by 9, 8, 7, etc. Talk amongst yourselves, mums and dads. Don't make it awkward for them. This carpet is the conversation killer. So I'll just say, I'll try to fill the gaps rather than do a great big long talk later on. I have not produced a big sheet of paper annual report this year, mostly because the record, I suppose, of what we do tends to be on Facebook, which and the website, which I'm pleased to say two of the boys, the senior boys, have been helping to run this year. So many of the social media updates are actually prepared by, not actually posted by, but prepared by one of the S4 boys, and likewise Daniel, one of the other S4s, has been running the website and putting new information on that this year. So I always encourage people to follow us on that and to check that out, and there's lots of stuff there that you can scroll back through to find out what we've been doing. One of the things, and what we're trying to showcase tonight a wee bit, is that we've started with the new programme that has been issued by Brigade headquarters in the last couple of years. Is quite different from what we used to follow. The number of badges that you would typically get in a year is less than it was, but hopefully still meaningful. But the boys can opt in now to staged awards, where they do have to put in a specific amount of hours and develop, it's kind of much more prescribed in a way. So we were pleased to have one of our former boys, Grant Lewis, who was a very, very able table tennis player and badminton player. And he came back for 3 Friday nights to take the boys up to the Brayport to use the table tennis tables and give them 3 weeks of coaching. So those boys will receive the Stage 2 Sportsmanship Award later on for their work in that. And we also had, we couldn't find a way to demonstrate cooking tonight, but that was one of the ones as well, as was music theory, and the fourth one was do it yourself, which was very ably led by Mr. Davidson, who's also helping with the table tennis as a parent helper. So boys should be arriving soon, and heads up, they are going to ask for some participation from the audience after a wee while, and that might include some P6s that are eagerly wanting a wee challenge maybe. But yeah, mums and dads, grannies, grandpas, uncles, etc. Unfortunately, you can't take part if you're on YouTube, but you can virtually enjoy it. I'm hoping that they're there and almost ready to come in. Mr. Dunn and Mr. Campbell, do you have any like background music that you can put on like you did last year?
Things that I've seen with my eyes. Lord, you know when I run, you know when I walk. You You know all the words I say before I even talk, and you're amazing. God, you're amazing. All your loving is amazing to me. Lord, you know what I eat, you know what I think. You know when I'm dirty and my feet begin to sting. Lord, you know everything, you're with me every day. Lord, I want to sing your praise, and this is what I say. You're amazing. God, you're amazing. All your loving is amazing to me.
Okay, so this is one of the training games that they played, and the object of this is to last longer as a team than the other table, right? So each table represents a team here. You've got 3 boys at each end, and they have to play their shot and then run clockwise round the table to the back of the queue at the other end, and ready to take the next shot after the 2 in front of them, right? They have practiced this, allegedly, so we'd see which table lasts the longest, okay? And we'll have a couple of rounds, and then we'll try and get some of the audience involved as well. And we'll maybe just have the music while they're playing their shots, okay? Right, we ready? At each table? Yes? Ready, go. Remember to go clockwise, otherwise it'll all go wrong. Remember, you're trying to make it easy for your teammates. Everybody at your table is on your team. And if you miss your shot, boys, remember you need to go out, stand at the side. If you miss the shot. No, volleys are not allowed, remember. Remember you learned that rule with Grant? No volleys. Must hit the table before you play a shot. Right, James? Mr. Hopper, watching for... Spread it out so you've got the same number at each end, right? You can reset that shot to make sure there's roughly the same people at each end. You don't want to have 4 and nothing. Right. If you miss the shot, come out. Keep play moving. Keep play moving. Are they out? Okay, so that's 1 point to the table at this end. You're the winners down here, Matthew's table. The 2 Matthews. Right, reset, 3 at each end. We'll have 3 rounds. This time, be honest, when you miss the shot, out you go straight away, okay? Are we ready? 3 at each end. Remember to go clockwise. Go! No cheeky hands on the table. You learned that rule as well. This is pretty impressive. Right, keep it going. Serve it up, serve it up. Oh, unlucky. Here you come. They finished again. Oh, 2-0 to this team. See if they can pull back a point before the parents get involved. Right, reset, 3 at each end, quickly. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, out you go. That's 1 down at this end. Remember, you're trying to make it easy for your teammate. be playing the smasher shots. Well done, James. Ooh. Right, out you come. Oh, unlucky Brody. 2 left. Well, you got to try it. Oh, did you? Okay, you won at the other end this time, so that's 2-1. Okay, so we have a winning team at this end, but what we want, the team at that end, you want to go and find 6 willing volunteers from the audience who can be of any age that are going to take your place and try for another round. Any P6s? Any P6s want to go? Right, Alexander, up you come. Oh, I see some, yep, there we go. People who clearly played in their youth, right? We could maybe give them 8 and give them a wee bit more of a chance, you never know. They'll have to swap brackets. Aye, he's quite good, Rowan, you can keep going. Okay, we want to move this. Okay. Mr. Hopper, how many have we got at this table at the bottom? Or Mr. Davidson? How many have we got? Too many? 6? 8? I think there's only enough for 6 bats, but they can always pass them on to one another. Okay, we've got 6 against 6. Okay, are we ready? At the intergenerational table there. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Remember. We got another ball. Quite close so far. We've still got a pretty full table down here. Oh, just lost one. Spoke too soon. Oh. We're still in at the guest table down there. Oh, a bit too hardcore there. Have they put themselves out? Right, okay, the boys won that one. We'll have one more. One more. The boys that were off this time, do you want to jump back on? Right, just substitute yourself in for somebody. Okay, let's see if the dads and junior section boys can pull out the bag here. 3 at each end. We got 3. You guys need another player. Still need another player. Matthew, go back in. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Taking it nice and easy at the boys' end here. Oh, there's one away. Unlucky James. Are they all finished down there? Oh no, they're still going. Oh, unlucky Lewis. Oh! No, unlucky Rowan. 2 here, right? So see how athletic they are. Oh. All right, the dads and junior section boys won that one. Well done. Okay, well done everybody for taking part in that. We're going to wheek these tables out again into the corridor. The boys can help with that, taking the nets off. Take the nets off, collect the bats and the balls. Okay, boys, well done. Thank you. Any of you that are in the band as well, go and hurry up. Go and hurry up because you need your instrument in a few seconds' time. So another couple of snippets while we fill some time. Some of the highlights of the year that sprung to mind, really, we managed last August it was, but it was still significant. We managed to have our first summer camp again since 2018 over at St Andrews, which was big because it's a big part of Boys Brigade and what we do. So it was great to get that back again with 30 boys there for the week and relatively good weather. Also just wanted to mention, like in general, we do notice that the boys are getting a lot more willing to do volunteering things. It's not as much of a struggle as it used to be sometimes to get them to sign up. I do recognise that parents have got a bit of impetus in that by pushing when it's a thing that comes out on OBM or whatever, but the fact that we can get, especially even senior boys, some of the S4s this year have been really good at putting themselves forward for things that it used to be much harder to get them to do. People tend to ask me now in the street, oh, when's your next book sale? As opposed to, you know, how's the BBs getting on? It's just when are you doing your next charitable thing? And I think that's good for us to be known for things like that. We might not be filling the two churches with boys every week, but we're definitely feel like we're doing the Christian work in the community. So hopefully that will keep continuing. And for that, I actually want to say thank you, Colin and Andrew are here and not just to Colin and Andrew, but to St Mary's Episcopal Church as well, because they've been a big support to us. They always are. St Mary's came on board with us really during COVID when we needed extra space to meet in, and are a big supporter of us as well. But the Kirk sessions here at St Blane's and the Cathedral, and indeed St Mary's, give us the use of the premises for nothing, and things like photocopying and things like that we don't get sent bills for because the churches, I think, support us very, very strongly. So really appreciate that and hope we'll pass on to the respective Kirk sessions our thanks for you doing that. And as well as that, it is a big thing that we've had up until the rules changed on the 1st of May, very strong support from the Cathedral, especially in terms of the safeguarding side, because processing PVGs for all the parent helpers and all the officers, etc., is a big, big thing. And although I don't think she's here tonight, she may be watching on YouTube or later on, but Fiona Tullis has been a huge support to us over the last few years. Now, this guy gets to do it, sadly, because Disclosure Scotland decided that the Church of Scotland should no longer process PVGs on our behalf, and that every organisation must do it for itself now. So Fiona will have a little bit less to do, but we are going to work out a way to keep her involved. So thank you again for that. I'm seeing and hearing little toots from the band outside, so I'll be quiet and get my trumpet, and we'll bring in the band for 2 or 3 tunes. And by the centre, quick, march. I'll bring my own music the next time. Looking over somebody's shoulder is not always the easiest thing. Some of you might remember that last tune. I mean, you get a special prize if you can remember where was the last time you heard that tune. My mother is not eligible to answer. Anybody been here like 10 years or so? Because it was 10 years ago that it was made a name for itself with words sung to it. No? No? Okay. Right then. Correct. The first pantomime, that tune was sung with words to do with the fact that we have no petrol station in Dunblane. No petrol station, there is no fuel in Dunblane. Yes, it went on. I can't remember the next bit, but I'm getting signals that I should shut up anyway and let the next lot in. So as Andrew said earlier on, the boys are going to show you a little bit of what they've been learning about Eric Liddell. This has been a really significant year, but I will not steal their thunder by reading for them.
As Eric Liddell arrived in Paris with the weight of the nation's expectation on his shoulders and great prospects in the 100-meter event, he received the news that the heats would run on a Sunday. At BB, we've imagined the strain that his conscience must have been under as he battled with the dilemma.
This drama is called Conscience Alley. Watch and listen as Eric here journeys through the alley with different voices trying to convince his conscience to go one way or another. All of these thoughts have been inspired by the boys' ideas over the past few weeks at BB's.
It's only one race, Eric, as the slogan will say in the future. Just do it.
Don't run the race. Surely that's what your family would want. Everything they've taught you.
You've been training your entire life for this. What are all those hours and injuries for?
God wouldn't want you running on a Sunday, man. Anyone who does that is putting himself before his Lord.
Do it. If you win, God will surely be proud of you.
You're a committed Christian, Eric. You're making the right choice to withdraw. Stand up for what you believe in.
The British Olympic Committee demands that you run the race. Mr. Liddell, we selected you to represent us, not to come here and withdraw.
Your parents would surely want you to be going to church and praying on Sunday instead of this race, Eric.
Whole of Britain is behind you, and the people expect great things, having read about you in the newspapers, and we're holding the back page especially to report on your success.
Come out of the race. God will be pleased with you and give you other great things instead.
It won't take long, just 12 seconds of your life. God isn't going to condemn you for that.
You'll be failing your religion if you run on a Sunday. How can you go back to being a missionary after publicly breaking God's laws?
Fame, money, and a possible gold medal. How can you say no to those things?
Go with your gut, Eric.
You tell others that God forgives sins. If you think running a race is a sin, it can't be that bad an example of one. God will surely forgive you too.
Ultimately, of course, Eric did withdraw from the 100 metres heat. He instead chose to run the 400 metre, which was uncharted territory for him. He silenced his critics on both sides by going to take the Olympic gold in a race he'd never ran before.
Well done, boys. There's a few people had to step in tonight when people that had lines there to read are not here after all. So well done, and thank you for sharing that with us. More about Eric Liddell to come. So thank you. Well done. You can toddle off while the music plays. Thanks, Mr. Dunn. So next year in our BB session, according to, we think, fairly accurate historic records, it will be the 125th anniversary of our Boys Brigade company in Dunblane. It started as the first Dunblane in 1900. There's a record of a Kirk Session meeting in 1900 where it was formed, and then there's probably periods where it didn't exist, like during the Second World War, but we are planning to make quite a big thing out of celebrating that 125th anniversary in 2025, but we'll start in the session leading into 2025. So an exciting time to be involved. We've also told the soon-to-be senior boys in the last week or so that we do plan to return to Malawi next summer. So that's going to be exciting as well. It will look a bit different from the two previous projects, but we're really looking forward to getting cracking on another project there. But one of the things that we're proud of this year is that, and last year as well, is that we tried to make the Malawi partnership an ongoing thing rather than focused on one big, we go over there and turn up to do a particular thing. But we're trying to make it an ongoing partnership that involves the whole company from anchor boys right through to seniors and officers as well. So more about that. I am very confident you will hear more about that. But for now, Mr. McEwen is nodding at me that we're going to have our Euros quiz, so Mr. Leslie's in charge of this. Football music, Mr. Dunn? No? Whistle and I'll dance, I'm sure he is saying up there quietly to himself. And I believe there might be some audience participation in this as well. So, are you ready? Eggs? Ooh.
Evening. Hi there, folks. Thanks for your patience. We're a wee bit of set-up time. A little bit of fun. The boys have done a bit on the Euros, and we had our Euro quiz last week, which went pretty well. It's a wee bit of a celebration because this year the Dunblane team got to the final of the BB quiz, got to the UK final, came fifth. They were second in Scotland, beat 60 other teams in Scotland, came fifth at the final in Hemel Hempstead. I think Kilmarnock, the other Scottish team, were the eventual winners, and more remarkable, the age profile of the boys were a really young team, so hopefully we'll get some success in that. So a big congratulations to Thomas Davidson, Murray Fletcher, Max Kavanagh, and particularly Alex Speed for their efforts. The standard of questions in the final blew me away, and all the teams were within 10 points of each other after a sort of marathon 10-round quiz. To celebrate this and recognise upcoming Euros, we've done a wee quiz with a twist. So there's a bit of physical activity as well and general knowledge. We're going to follow the Euro draw format in reverse, where instead of taking the balls out of the buckets, we're going to put the balls in the buckets. It sounds complicated, and it's a bit of a faff, but we excel in that kind of thing. The boys have had a dry run, and it worked quite well. We have changed the questions, though. But I think you'll notice that we're down a team, and I think you all know how this works now. So we need half a dozen volunteers. It doesn't mean that you become an officer automatically. But I don't really want to start picking folk. So we look for 6 parents, or anybody. A modest interest in football might help. One more. There we go. Okay, thanks, guys. I know it didn't mean you automatically became an officer, but you've made the short list. So in front of you is a tray of numbered balls and a Euro wall chart. Each answer to the question that Alex is going to ask is a country that's competing in the Euros this summer. So that's each answer. So each team has a set of numbered balls, and they correspond to that question. The numbered ball should then be dropped into the Eurogroup dog food box. The Eurogroups are on the table in front of you, so that'll help you. So if the answer to question 1 was Italy or something, it would go in, I think Italy are in group. Give me a B. So your ball would go in group B. Absolutely simple. The exciting thing is that you get maximum of 10 seconds between the question finishing and getting that ball in the box. So any late balls go in the sin box. The ref's decision is final. And the winner, which we'll tot up, I promise we'll tot up, will be the team that gets the most balls in the right box. As I say, no late tackles, no dodgy shoulder barges, and we should be good. So I'm going to hand you over to Alex. I'll be the ref on the floor, checking what happens. Okay, Alex, thanks.
Question 1. This country's star player is from the island of Madeira and has the most international appearances and goals of any male player. Question 2. This team playing in yellow represent a country founded by the friendly Vlad the Impaler, better known as the inspiration for Dracula. Question 3. This country has the highest Muslim population in Europe, over 60%. Its capital is Tirana, and their flag is the double-headed eagle. That was Albania, question 3. Question 4. With a national dish containing sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, washed down with a favourite drink containing ammonium ferric citrate, this country hosted the first ever international football match. That was Scotland. Question 5. Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic is this country's star player, born in the capital Belgrade. That was Serbia. Question 6. Soldiers from this country were stationed in Dunblane during the Second World War, and their team badge is a white eagle signifying strength. That was Poland. Question 7. The national team of this country are nicknamed La Roja, the Red Ones, and their women's team are the current World Cup holders. That was Spain. This country has the highest concentration of bears in Europe, and more than 50% of the country is covered in forest. Part of the former Yugoslavia, its capital is That was Slovenia. This country is famous for waffles and chocolate and the goal-scoring midfielder that plays for Manchester City. That was Belgium. Number 10. Home to the sound of music, their midfielder Marcel Sabitzer will play for Dortmund in the Champions League final in a few weeks' time. That was Austria. Home to the inventor of the Rubik's Cube, the Danube flows through this country's capital, Budapest. That was Hungary. One of the greatest cyclists and road racing world champion, Peter Sagan, represents this country. That was Slovakia. Made up of 1,300 islands and a popular holiday destination on the Dalmatian coast, their capital is Zagreb. That was Croatia. Famous for exporting butter, bacon, and plastic bricks, this national team play in a famous red and white stripe. That was Denmark. FIFA World Goalkeeper of the Year, Mary Earps, plays for their national women's team. That was England. This country invented the sugar cube and have the highest beer consumption per capita in the world. Their current league champions are Sparta Prague. That was Czechia. This country shares its name with a state in America and has 5 crosses on its flag. Four smaller crosses represent the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That was Georgia. Another holiday destination where the lira is the main currency, football in this country is dominated by the big three teams in the capital, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas? That was Turkey. Home to sauerkraut and bratwurst, this country will probably beat England on penalties at some point. That was Germany. The national tree of this country is the strawberry tree, the colours representing the national flag in green, white and red, and their national football team are known as the Azzurri, the Blues. That was Italy. This country's greatest player was Johan Cruyff, and their supporters are known as the Orange Legion. That was the Netherlands. Known as the breadbasket of Europe, this country are currently playing their home games in Poland. That was Ukraine. This country has one of only 2 square flags in the world. The other is the Vatican City. Their flag contains a white cross and is associated with their commitment to neutrality, peace, and refuge. That was Switzerland. A last question. This is the largest country in the European Union, and their former captain was infamously sent off for a headbutt in the World Cup final. That was France.
Thanks for cutting me off, or sort of there, Mr. Dunn. Right, we will be a few minutes getting the boys reorganised into their squads, and then they'll come over here to have the various awards and prizes presented, so bear with us for a few minutes. Briefly, I'm just going to say, obviously you all, well at least I hope you all, at Christmas time got a letter in the post that was asking or alluding to what Andrew mentioned earlier on. And just to kind of add to that, since that, when we're sort of 5 months down the line, I have had a total of 1 new person volunteer to come to company section and seniors to work with the oldest boys. They are not as scary as you might think. I mean, you one of them is your child or grandchild or nephew or niece, whatever, not niece, but yeah, got that wrong. They are easy to work with most of the time. But it doesn't matter whether they are or not. They are living in very challenging times for young people. I was on the bus in Perth today coming home from school, and a lady sat down next to me who had just retired from teaching and was asking me about my job and whatnot, and she said to me, "Would you really want to be a young person today?" And I said, "No, I wouldn't, because I don't think the challenges that they face with the availability of social media, and we've all seen how that can play itself out in this town, particularly this year. But not just that, there are so many challenges that when probably most of us were younger, we did not have to face. And so I think it makes the role of being involved in youth work, whether it's Boys Brigade or any of the other organisations that do that in Dunblane, it makes it so important. There is nationwide in the UK, there is no shortage of boys and indeed girls queuing up to join Boys Brigade companies. But the biggest problem, as it is with lots of other organisations, is that the number of adults that are willing to do it doesn't match up. There's no shortage of adults, we know that. It's just having the belief that you can get involved and that you can contribute and that you can be part of a team. Because we're not asking people to come and take over and to come and be single-handedly running things. We're asking people to come and join a group of people that are already here, who've been doing it for quite a while, but who are keen to have new people come and join them, and who are keen to have enough people to make the groups that we work with on a Friday night a manageable size. So you would not be chucked in the deep end and left suddenly to run something on your own. And we are blessed now the fact that the Boys Brigade headquarters has us 2 staff members whose job it is to work and to produce programme material that we can literally pick up a couple of days before, make sure you've got the equipment and things like that, and it's there. You don't have to think of it all yourself. There is stuff issued every term that you can use or you can ignore. You can do old favourites or just something that you particularly have an interest in. So I do encourage people to think about it seriously again. I'll just be honest with you, while the boys are not all here listening, but the consequences, if we do not have a decent number of leaders next year, we will have to look at how to reduce the number of boys to make it feasible to run a company section on a Friday night with a smaller number of trained leaders. So we don't want to do that. It really is the last thing that we want to do. So I would just ask people again to really think about that. Not for too long, because we do have to do PVG checks. You do have to do a couple of little e-learning modules. They don't take long, but if there's a lot of them in summer holidays, etc., it's much better for us to start that process very, very soon. It is a great time to get involved. As I said, we've got a big celebration to mark next year, an anniversary, and things like Project Malawi, and really a very good, enthusiastic group of boys to work with. I can't sing their praises highly enough. So if you want and you don't want to speak to me about it, that's totally fine. There are plenty of other leaders here tonight or any other time that will be very happy to speak to you. Drew Leslie, who was running the Euros activity there, has put himself forward and said, come and speak to him. So please do. If you know Drew or not, it doesn't matter. He'd be quite happy to hear from you. And he can chat to you about it as well as anyone else that's up for it. So we're going to get some of the boys to come in and take a collection in a minute. We always do that here because the cost of running the display tonight and all the trophies, prizes, engraving, badges, you name it. Now, you don't necessarily have to reach for your wallet. You could, if you wish, reach for your smartphone. And I think somewhere up there might be a QR code. Yes. So what we can say, if you put cash in, and it's less than, and this is a government thing I am saying here, if it's less than 20 quid, we can claim gift aid on it. You don't have to fill in a form. But if you want to put in more than 20 quid, and I'm not suggesting anybody does, but if you do, you're better doing it that way, and then they can claim the gift aid on it. So, also, please don't feel obliged. It's an optional thing we've always done. So we'll get the boys to come in. They'll come round with the dishes or plates or whatever they've found to collect in. And if you'd rather do it online, then just scan that away as much as you want. And hopefully Mr. Dunn will put some music on. And all the people that are watching online, if you get another device, you can take a photo of that or find the link on the Facebook page, and you'll be able to donate online if you would like to do that. Thank you very much. Have we got some music, Mr. Dunn?
got mail, it's been waiting for you. You got mail from the King of Kings. He wrote it down and he sent it to you. Have you read it? Have you read it? You got mail, it's been waiting for you. You got mail from the King of Kings. He wrote it down and he sent it to you. Have you read it? Don't put it in your waistband. No, no, no. You got mail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got mail, it's been waiting for you. You got mail from the King of Kings. He wrote it down, sent it to you. Have you read it? Have you read it? You got mail, it's been waiting for you. You got mail.
Company, stand at ease. Okay, boys, we're going to let you sit down because otherwise it's a very long stand. If you are on the very end of the row here, when you sit down, can you maybe just come in front of the people so that there's a nice clear gap up the side so that there are people coming and going to get prizes. Company, attention. You may sit. Okay, thank you everybody for coming in smartly, and just remind the boys, if it's a group or an individual, you stand up, you bring yourself to attention, you step back, you turn to the right, that'll be for you. March smartly out to the front in the order that we call your name, go right along if necessary, and then we'll tell you to turn to the right. Remind you that you salute to Mr. McNeil before you accept the prize or the certificate, whatever it is. And wait at the end, once everybody in the group's been presented, you'd salute again and go off the opposite way back to your place, okay? So, I think Mrs. Johnston's going to come and give me a little hand here. We start with the Jazz Awards, and the Jazz Award is maybe thought of as a sort of a precursor to D.A.V. It's a very similar format, but for younger boys starting from primary 6. I know some of our P6s over here will be getting their Bronze Jazz Award on Wednesday night at their display, so look forward to that. But we do have some boys receiving the Silver Jazz Award tonight. When you don't wait, when you hear your name, up you get. So they are Murray Baldwin, Ben Homonchik, Tommy Humphreys, Duncan Lyle, Brodie Monteith, Shay Nika, and Leighton Snedden. You waited. You're supposed to get up when you hear your name. Up you get, that way, out to the front. Right, boys, we're going to salute first, remember? Ready? Okay. Well done. So, to be clear for the boys that are getting the Gold Jas Award, as soon as you hear your name, stand up, get out to the front before the next boy whose name is after yours, and then the folders will be in the right order. So, receiving the Gold Jas Award tonight, who've worked on this for 2 years, that's Neil Arthur Byrne, Plamen Carter, Matthew Cowie, Thomas Davidson, Guy Hall, Rory Hamilton, Sam Morrow, Caden Nash, and Rhys Ewer. Well done. Out you come in that order. Right along. Well done, boys. Also just going to mention, he's sat down now, but one of the boys that got the Gold Jas Award there is also the first person in our company, as far as I know anyway, to register all of his volunteering hours that he did there as part of the Jas and other things to get one of the Saltire Awards, which are available to young people between the age of 12 and 25, and they're recognised by employers and whatnot as well. So quick round of applause for Neil Arthur, who got the 25 Hours Saltire Award as part of that. Now, the next set that we're going to hand out are what we call Captain's Commendations. They're not just for me, but that's the name we gave to them a few years ago. And these are certificates for boys who have done something particular that we don't read out to you just now, but they'll soon find out what it was when they read their certificate. Something that we decided as a group of leaders to recognise and to thank them for, and to just give them a pat on the back that is not a piece of silverware, but it's still recognition that they did something out of the ordinary that we want to recognise. So we're going to have them come up in two groups rather than all at once. So first group, spring up as soon as I hear your name. As soon as you hear your name. Kevin Murty, David Taylor, Alex Speed, Murray Fletcher, Max Kavanagh, Thomas Davidson, Alex Johnson Doherty, and Thomas Savaridis for the first group. Come right along, Ken. And also just say to the boys, this group and the next group, you don't have to show your certificate to everybody else, because what's on there might only be something that you want to keep to yourself, and that's fine. So don't feel you need to show everybody what it was for, but please be proud of it. Okay, boys. Well done. And the second group, just so they didn't all have to crush at the front here, the second group is Matthew Crawford. I'm waiting for people to spring up out of the crowd. Jamie Stevenson, Finn Clark, Mikey Conroy, Evan Monteith, Neil Arthur Byrne, and Joseph Moore. Well done. Okay, so since COVID, we stopped doing attendance prizes because the government controlled your attendance at that point, if you caught COVID, etc. But we did decide to start them this year again in a slightly different way. So the boys that are receiving an attendance prize tonight, we've split company, which is P7 to S3, and seniors into two separate categories, because we know seniors is a little bit harder for them to attend as regularly with jobs and exams and whatnot. So it's roughly the top 20% of attendance in each of the two sections. So the seniors, first of all, sorry, Mr. McCune, I've done it the wrong way around. The seniors receiving excellent attendance prize tonight: Duncan Moore, Ali Byrne, please be quicker getting up, everybody, Alex Speed, Daniel Cowie, Innes McCara, Rory Bottomley, and Theo Brooks. Well done, boys. Appreciate your efforts in attending as well as you do. So, salute. Left turn. To your squads. Quick march. So, P7 to S3, company section attendance prizes. Spring up even more athletically than them, please. Ben Hamonchik, Neil Arthur Byrne, Matthew Cowie, Thomas Davidson, Shay Nika, Kieran Watt, Tommy Humphreys, Leighton Snedden, Duncan Lyle, Ruad Tate, Matthew Crawford, and Murray Fletcher. Squeeze in a bit. Standing at attention. While we're in the business of trying to recruit new leaders, I'd just like to say the boys are always as quiet as this on a Friday night. They are. Angelic, positively. Well done. So as I mentioned earlier on, we are going to present these staged awards that the boys specifically chose to work on over and above the sort of core awards that the boys will be given their badges for. Some of them already have been during the course of the evening next door. So, having achieved the DIY level 2, we're going to congratulate Tommy Humphreys, Robbie Webster, up please, Murray Fletcher, Jack Bottomley, Alex Johnston Doherty, James Robertson, Neil Arthur Byrne, Rhys Ure, Joe Moore, Joseph Davidson and David Taylor. Quickly, in that order. Move right along to the very end, please. We have the Musician Award. Again, this is all stage 2. The Musician Award, Leighton Snedden, James Kennedy, Kieran Watt. Boys know if they did this or not. You could be preempting getting up here. Max Kavanagh, Alfie Lang, Duncan Lyle, Shay Nika, Ben Hamonchik, and Guy Hall. In your left hand, boys. Put it in your left hand, please, so you can salute again. Salute. Turn to the left, left turn. To your squads. Quick march. So, boys, it's the table tennis one next. Please think about that. Was that you? Tom Gemmell, Lewis Ward, Hamish Thompson, James McPherson, Rory Hamilton, Daniel Gay, Evan Monteith, Plamon Carter, Matthew Crawford, Shay Murty, Brodie Monteith, and Struan Scullion. Well done, boys. Salute. And the next group is hopefully the group whose parents are most benefiting from this stage award. This was the cooking people. And the boys who did all 3 hours of this award, Ethan Weir, Rowan Weir, you must definitely be, 2 in one house. Murray Baldwin, Ruad Tate, Ethan Harrison, Caden Nash, Matthew Cowie, Thomas Davidson, Tom Ballach, and Kevin Murty. So we move on to some of the higher awards, and this award that we're about to hand out is the President's Badge. The President's Badge is earned, you have to have been a member for at least a year, but generally 2 years. There is a route to do the President's Badge by achieving the Duke of Edinburgh's award that allows you to do it in a smaller amount of time. But generally this is boys in S3, and in one case tonight S4, who have completed the second highest award in the Boys Brigade, the President's Badge. And I would just say to those boys, we do have the folders that you get for your Queen's Badge. I do have them. I'm just trying not to overload you with stuff to take home tonight. So there's a nice badge in the presentation box here. And if I can find my list again. The boys receiving the President's Badge tonight are Matthew Crawford, Evan Monteith, Joseph Moore, Kevin Murty, Tom Ballach, Thomas Savaridis, Struan Scullion, and Rowan Weir. Well done, gentlemen. Okay. Well done. Left turn. Your squads, quick march. Okay, so the next prize that we're going to give out is one of the last groups of people to come out. But we have had a competition all year for the best squad, and that's a combination of attendance and marks for uniform and conduct when the boys are there on Friday night. So the winners of best squad this year are right at the back. Squad 10, wait a minute, well you can start getting up, but I'll read your names. Kieran Scullion, in charge of that squad. Evan Henderson, Evan Monteith, James Robertson, Murray Baldwin, Tommy Humphreys, Robbie Webster and Daniel Evans. Up you get, boys, and come to the front. Well done, best squad. Right, we're on to trophies now. So it's just one person at a time here, apart from a couple where there's some runners up. So the first trophy is for best recruit, generally a primary 7, but isn't always, someone who is their first year in company section. And best recruit this year, the officers decided, is Murray Baldwin. Well done, Murray. So, a week ago we had our drill competition for individual prizes, and the P7 and S1 boys have a separate one. The runners-up for best drilled recruit, best drilled P7 or S1, Tommy Humphreys and David Taylor. I should point out the drill prizes are chosen by an independent judge, not by the officers, so somebody who knows drill very well. And the winner for P7S1 drill was Ruad Tate. So for the older boys, S2 to S6, they take part in the best drilled boy. And the runners-up, 2 of them this year, runners-up were Matthew Crawford and Innes Macara. And the overall winner for best drilled boy is James Robertson. The next trophy that we have is a quaich that we started to award a couple of years ago in memory of Sandra Donald, member of the Cathedral Congregation, well known for her community work. So this is indeed a trophy for community volunteering. And this year, the Sandra Donald quaich goes to Duncan Moore. That's the awkward trophy that you can't drop when it's in 2 bits. Well done, Duncan. Okay, next trophy that we do is the one with the worst name. It's for most improved boy. We have to think one year. When this trophy runs out, we're going to think of a better title for it. But it does reflect somebody that the officers decided had really shown big steps forward in terms of their leadership, their maturity, and the fact that we can really rely on them as a young adult to lead in Boys Brigade, and we really appreciate that person for the growth that he has shown this year. And that goes to Scott Robertson. Well done, Scott. So we have 3 prizes that are all music related, and the award this year for Most Improved Musician goes to Guy Hall. Well done, Guy. Now, the good news is the next trophy is also in 2 bits, but it's being shared by 2 people. So they'll get to swap the parts around halfway through the year. This is the Richards Quaich for piping, and this year Mr. Brown and Mr. Byrne decided that it would be a most improved piper. So jointly, this prize will be shared by Joseph Moore and Neil Arthur Byrne. Well done, boys. So we have the Wilson Prize for Music, which is Best Overall Musician. And this prize is going to somebody who, in terms of music, is the base on which the band is built, and that might narrow it down to 2 or 3 people. But this person has also shown that as well as putting up with sometimes very simple and not very exciting music, he's also very talented at playing solos as well. So congratulations to Murray Fletcher. The next trophy that we have is the Centenary Cup, which is for sportsmanship, and we don't do as many sport and competitions as we maybe used to do, but we still enter as many as we possibly can. But sport also involves things that are not necessarily physical and running about, which was proven this year with our team's success in the master team. And as well as taking part in that, this boy also did really well with table tennis and other competitions this year. So the Sportsmanship Cup is going to Thomas Davidson. Well done, Thomas. And the next prize is the Laurie Cup for Leadership, which was something that we started a few years ago now, particularly for boys that are working a lot with the younger sections or other sections, leading activities, and the way that they go about that within the company, and seniors as well. So the Laurie Cup for Leadership this year goes to Alex Speed. The second last trophy is the one that the boys vote for themselves, and they did that maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and this is a brand new trophy because the old one was completely full up. So the winner at 2024 for the Boys' Best Boy Shield is David Taylor. Well done, David. Salute again. Well done. And in fact, David, it was the last trophy because the person who has won Best Boy is unfortunately away on holiday tonight. But we shall indeed read his name out. The Best Boy trophy this year will be delivered once he's back to Jamie Oldham. So well done, Jamie, if you're watching on YouTube. We have a small number of Duke of Edinburgh's awards to present tonight, and that might serve as a little kick up the backside for the boys that are just a hair's breadth away from getting their DAV and need to just do the final bits of paperwork and whatnot. But very pleased to present 3 boys with the Bronze Duke of Edinburgh Award tonight, and they are Tom Ballach, Matthew Crawford, and Rauka Kuipers. And very pleased that coming back from, we'll not call it retirement, Rooney, shall we? But having graduated from Boys Brigade last year, but taking the time over the last year to finish off everything for it, pleased to welcome Rory Scullion back tonight to receive his silver DAV. Well done, Rory. Congratulations. And boys, you do get till you're 25 to do your gold. I will say that tonight. So we're very proud at this point to be able to present quite a number of Queen's Badges, which is the highest award possible in the Boys Brigade. To clarify, it is still called the Queen's Badge because the King has been a little bit busy and not so well, and has not yet approved the badge to be renamed and redesigned and called the King's Badge. So it does continue to be the Queen's Badge until that time, although we think that this group will be the last to be presented with the Queen's Badge, so that's maybe an honour in itself. So 2 of them are not here tonight. Again, you'll have worked it out. One of them is the one that's on holiday, and the other one is working and cannot avoid that. So we're very proud to present these boys who are here tonight, and I'll read the other 2 names as well. Simeon Carter, Mikey Conroy, Ryan Johnston, Charlie McCreary, Jamie Oldham, Kieran Scullion, and Logan Ward. Well done. I should say, while these are being handed out, the boys will be presented again by the Lord Lieutenant, representing His Majesty the King at a special event on the 2nd of June in Dunfermline Abbey. So there will be an opportunity for the other 2 boys as well. Well done again. Congratulations, boys. We're very proud of you and all the efforts that you've put in, the many, many hours of volunteering and skills and expeditions, physical, you name it. It's a huge achievement. So congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you at the big event for being presented there. One of these guys is about to come straight back up again, because we do say a fond farewell and a thank you and a good luck to Simeon tonight, who's finished S6, or almost anyway. Certainly finished S6 with Boys Brigade tonight, and I know he's hoping for certain exam results before he knows what he's going to do next. But Simeon's been with us since primary 5, we think, or primary 6, and has been a great servant to the company, in the band as well for many years. And we'll be sorry to see him go, but we know that he'll go on to do many, many great things. So, Simeon, can you come up and get your discharge certificate and a gift from the company that you hope you'll use in the future? It's like reading the news and you get handed a wee note here. Boys that got the Gold Jas Award tonight, can you please get your folder from Mrs. Johnston before you go home? Otherwise, they'll sit next to my ironing pile for the next, I don't know how much longer. So, also want tonight to acknowledge some officers who are leaving us, at least temporarily or in different ways. First of all, although he's sitting here tonight, Graham McEwen here has been a trusty and long-standing officer in the company section, and that doesn't even come close to doing it justice, but he doesn't want me to say lots and lots and lots. He officially finished with us in terms of Friday nights back at the end of March at Easter, and the seniors showed him just how important a leader that he's been in the company by giving him an excellent send-off that last night down at the Dunblane Centre. But of course, Graham wanted to come back tonight, particularly to see these Queensmen be presented and also to help dish out awards for the rest of the boys. So we're very grateful to you, Graham, for your many years. We know that you're going to be spearheading Project Malawi in the background, which might as well be staying on as a full-time officer. So, but Graham very graciously volunteered to do that, and really grateful for that, because it is a big job for one person, and it needs you to step back from Friday nights in order to do that and give it the devotion that it needs. So I'm sure the boys want to join me in thanking Mr. McEwen for his many years with BBs, and particularly these last ones. Well done. Thank you, Graham. I'll tell you to stop, because he would want to tell you to stop right now, and he's not going to. And also want to say a big thank you tonight to Mrs. Jo Carruthers. Jo's been with us for several years as an officer now, and very dedicated to Friday nights, and takes on some of the jobs I would not know how to do, and has done them with a great way, building great relationships with the boys in the last few years, and watching our own boys go through the company section at the same time, which is always a challenge, but one that she definitely wanted to take on. So Jo's going back to university. For some reason, she wants to be a teacher. But I would never tell anybody not to do it, because it is a great profession. But Jo, if you'd like to come forward, we'd like to give you a little gift to thank you for all your years of service in the last few years. Also just want to say a big thank you in general to all the officers and all the leaders, all the parent helpers who've helped us over the years. And although he's not here tonight as well, Willie Troy, who is the beadle and hallkeeper down at the cathedral, who puts up with what we leave behind on a Friday night, which is not always the most spick and span, and we do our best, but he's very gracious in the way that he deals with us. And on a personal level, I want to thank my mum and dad, because apart from anything else, this past week, they've had to do all the runs to the trophy shop. They've been taking the vault in to get repaired. They've been to the printers. They've been all over the place. My dad's not here tonight, but yeah, sorry, my mum's reminded me she polished all the trophies as well, because the boys, did they do it before they handed them back in? Imagine that. So thank you to all those people, especially to the officers for coming down every Friday night. I'm sure the boys want to join me in thanking all of them that make BBs possible. Thank you. So I'm now going to ask Simon McNeill to have a quick chat with the boys and with you and let us know what he thought of us tonight and other things.
Thank you, Fraser. The time is marching on, ladies and gentlemen and boys, and I can assure you I'll not speak for a moment longer than needs to. As Fraser says, I'm a captain of the 45th Glasgow, and normally when I start my displays, I have a wee word in the ear of the inspecting officer for very brief remarks, and I put notes down just so we know. Fraser never gave me that sort of guidance, but can I take it on myself not to speak for too long? One of the first things I want to say tonight to the boys is, wow, I was thoroughly impressed by tonight, particularly by the awards and the number of awards going out to boys. We've got boys working through all stages of the awards programme. Fraser touched on the staged awards, and just to sort of give that a bit of quantity, there's not a lot of BB companies have taken up the staged awards. As Fraser says, they are quite new, and it's great to see the 25th Stirling is taking them on, and boys tonight are receiving certificates for them. So well done. And boys, I hope you're really proud to be members of the 25th Stirling. I'm a great believer that tonight I am attending one of the most efficient, well-run BB companies in the Brigade. The 25th Stirling is very much at the heart of a number of national events. Even recently, they've been to Edinburgh Castle. I think they're going to Edinburgh Castle again on Sunday. Is that correct? They come to my own battalion at the Queen's Badge completion. We get treated to some nice music from the 25th Stirling. So when I think of major events, the 25th Stirling are always there. And they're there for a reason, because they're one of the best companies that we have. So you might look around and think what you see is normal. And it should be normal. But be very, very proud of what you've got, because you should be. It doesn't come by luck, by chance. It comes because the right ingredients have all pulled together here to produce this. Fraser knows that in my other roles in the BB, I visit a lot of other BB companies. And when I look, I said to the gentleman next to me, when everyone sat down, it was my first opportunity just to see the number of people that were sitting down the middle here. I couldn't quite see it when they're all standing up, but when they sat down, we could see the number of people. There's BB companies, if we got all three sections in, wouldn't fill the centre of this hall. You know, and we have just got two sections, the company and the seniors, and you're almost spilling out the back door, and Fraser tells me that you're not all even here tonight. That's a fantastic situation. Numbers don't mean everything, but there's certainly a barometer you can't ignore. It tells us all that there's a programme here, an enticing programme, a challenging programme, a progressive programme, and it tells us that we've got leaders that care, that are interested, and that are passionate. I heard Fraser talk earlier on about the support he gets from the church. These are things we shouldn't take for granted. Fraser offered up some really kind words to the church, and again in my other roles, unfortunately that's not something that materialises in every area of the country. Church support's not just a given, it's not natural, it's not always the case. So where we see it, we should appreciate it, and I just to say thank you again to the church for all the support that they provide, because it is key in what we have seen tonight. I know it's been touched on a number of times this evening around volunteers. BB companies don't usually go under, for want of an expression, because of lack of boys. I think Fraser kind of touched on that earlier on. BB companies sometimes struggle because of lack of leaders. And just to put a challenge maybe back to Fraser in that, without repeating what Fraser said, if you're sitting there thinking, well, what does he want? What can we give? I've got some examples in my own company where my Queen's Badge advisor cannot be down every single week, cannot be down sometimes even twice a month, but he's taken on the role of managing the boys through the major awards because that fits with the commitment that he can give. I've got another member of staff who works for the AA, and he knows 4 months in advance his shifts, so we can go maybe 3 or 4 weeks without seeing him, and then he'll come down for maybe a couple of weeks. So the BB has flexibility to support and engage and work with people of all different flexibilities. Of course, Fraser at one end of the spectrum would love people who could come down every single week, but I know he'd be open to discussion for people who couldn't give that commitment, but who could give in some other ways. I spoke about the staged awards. The staged awards, I think we had DIY, TT, and cooking. They are project awards that perhaps could be commitment over a shorter period of time that somebody could come in and support. We also have an actual role called a residential helper. So perhaps week to week is not something that can be supported, but perhaps looking at sort of what I call extracurricular stuff. So supporting at the summer camps or weekend residentials. There's various different ways that we can support the company. But as parents, you're doing a great job in the current role that you do by making sure your son is here every single week. And we ask you, at the very least, to continue to do that. So in summing up, Fraser, well done on tonight. I really emphasised with you when you spoke about the effort involved in a display. It's a major project in itself, and a lot of the work sometimes is not realised, but I know it's there in the background. I think I also empathise with you with the trophies not being returned cleaned, and I often think of a new trophy for next year being the Best Polished Trophy Award, but I suspect it might not be given out. Who knows? So guys, well done. Be proud to be members of the 25th Stirling, and I look forward to seeing you at national competitions and other events in the future. So well done.
Thank you, Simon. Really appreciate you coming along tonight and for your encouraging words to the boys and the officers and parents and everyone gathered here as well. And thank you to everybody here tonight for coming along to show your support by being here or indeed watching online for those that are. We're almost at the close of the evening. I'm just going to remind the boys that if you have an award tonight, including Duke of Edinburgh, President's Badge, Queen's Badge, etc., then you should be staying behind. There will be photos taken, and there will be two. Look, they see the doormen are already there. Look. They're not going to let you out because last year certain people just wandered off, thought I'm not getting my photo taken. So we need to get the proper group photographs done. So I'm going to hand over to Reverend Colin Rennick to close our evening with prayer. And boys, can I ask you to stand up again? I know we'll hear the floor creak and your bones creak, but.
Thank you, and once again, congratulations to all the boys and to their families. Fraser has thanked many people tonight, but we haven't thanked Fraser. So on behalf of both Kirk Sessions and indeed the wider community, thank you, a huge thank you to Fraser for living and breathing BB for so much of his life. And we do depend on people of that passion and commitment. So Fraser, thank you and well done. Let us pray. We thank you, God our Father, for all the experience, the fun, the learning represented in tonight's awards. We thank you for the lessons that will remain with us for the rest of our days, for the friendships forged, for the skills learned. And we pray for this company. We pray for leaders to help lead us into the future. And we pray that what we strive to be and do will continue to be a source of encouragement and inspiration, not only to the BBs themselves, but to the wider community. And now send us out in peace, love, and hope. And may the blessing of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit rest upon you and all you remember in love, this night and forever. Amen.
Attention.